Ready to roll.
Awesome. So how's the morning been so far?
You know, this has been just so pleasant, riding over here from the campus and from this morning's bike to work activity, rode on the protected bikeway, and then came on over to these quiet, low traffic, low volume streets, low speed streets. It's just, saw several kids riding to school. I mean, Sarah, this is what it's all about.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
This is good stuff to see. Had the chance to talk with a few people this morning that were able to reflect on how just the culture of activity has been evolving over the past decade or so.
Yeah. At City Thread, we really saw an opportunity because of the, over a decade, as you mentioned, investment in the mountain bike trail system that surrounds the city of Bentonville, and thinking about how to move, high quality, high class recreation mountain bike riding to on-street infrastructure that would benefit, not only the people who are biking to trails or want to bike to run an errand, but also creating space for people who want or need to drive, to ensure that there's safer ways for folks to walk and bike. And Bentonville has proven to be just an amazing community to use our approach around, really connecting with elected leaders and city staff and local community organizations who made this amazing commitment, which is to build 30 miles in 3 years of their planned biking and walking network. And they did it, which is amazing. Yeah. And even on this path we're on right now, while it's not protected, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, and we're able to navigate it. We're gonna make a left here.
Yeah, and we just saw two sets of parents, riding with their kiddos on cargo bike. I like to say on the channel that one of the litmus tests of a safe and inviting cycle network is whether you see women and children and the elderly out riding on a regular basis just to get to meaningful destinations.
I think we're gonna go straight.
So that's always encouraging to see, because if they feel safe on these, low volume, low speed streets, they'll flock to it. And then having the protected and separated infrastructure, for those busier streets, that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a big part of what I've seen so far here is that there's just so many people on bikes. It helps to give the city leaders the backstop. To feel like the community has their back. And therefore they can have the political will to do bold things.
Absolutely. And also, not only do we see a real, if you build it, they will come, from people choosing to walk and bike and have more choices, but also people who are driving, we're gonna go right on D, who are driving, there's a clear understanding of where the car belongs in the road, making a fully convenient and connected and non-confusing way to get around the city. And, the mayor and council members also hear support from folks who, didn't realize that a protected bike lane could benefit them because they currently aren't a bike rider. And we've also, to your point around political will, political cover, invested in audience research, so polling and focus groups, so we can give the mayor and council, real data on where voters stand, which is, majority support, 83 90% support for this, not only rapid implementation of the 30 miles in 3 years, but continuing to invest in streets to create places for everyone.
Yeah, I think that really is a good point. I hear children.
Children. Okay, we're gonna go right here, and then we're gonna take this path.
Beautiful.
And so I think also the amount of paved paths for people walking and biking, I think has also been a great investment that the city has made when thinking about their connected mobility network.
Right.
That it doesn't always have to be on a street, that it can be like where we are, where we get to hear the joyful sounds of kids playing, and are also, you know, fully protected and separated from where car traffic is.
Yeah, it's such a great point too, because these multi-use pathways are the natural extension to the off-street network of mountain bike trails that exist. And yeah, when you have, especially like little riparian corridors and natural areas that you can put a paved pathway on to connect to meaningful destinations like schools, all the better. I mean, from a parent's perspective, this is truly all ages and abilities. So, no better way. We also see in a handful of cities around the globe that having
keep going straight.
a robust network, an off-street network of connected pathways can help be the platform that then encourages the, when necessary, the on-street facilities.
Exactly.
And we see that in a place like Boulder, Colorado, where the off-street network of pathways along the riparian corridors emerged in the 1970s, and that then becomes the platform for, okay, now we need to address the on-street.
Exactly, yep. We're gonna cross here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is the building. We'll meet Janet.
Yay. And why don't you set up who we're meeting with here?
Absolutely. So we are meeting with the Deputy Superintendent of the Bentonville School District. Janet, she'll be able to pronounce her last name. And she has been a huge supporter of the Bentonville Moves Coalition and the activities used to really create a diverse representation of residents and community organizations to really help ensure that that support that's getting communicated to elected leaders and city staff isn't just from people who ride bikes, but is from students, parents, business owners, etc.
Fantastic. And what a pleasant ride over
Yeah,
here.
I know.
That was great. Yeah.
I think we'll have to jump the curb, or we can go over here and get on. There'll be a cut down here.
Okay. I was going to be really impressed if you were about to jump the curb.
I do jump the curb. No, by jump means I roll up it and hit it hard
Okay,
and probably bend my
I
wheel.
think using the term jump just makes it sound cooler.
Okay. We'll go with that. That's what I do.
So what brought you out biking yesterday, Janet?
So yesterday I had a student shadower, 8th grade student from Lincoln Junior High, and she's interested in a job in finance. And so we came out and we can drive by. We got a grant from the Bentonville Moves Coalition for See Me flags. So we were attaching See Me flags at the intersection of Tiger and Bella Vista Way.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So we rode our bikes to the intersection and then we tried out our flags.
Did the flags work?
Yes. They're very visible. In fact, you can see the flags from here. Yeah. So we rode to do that, and then we rode over to Thomas Jefferson to look at some different resource allocations of the school district. So how we pick projects that need to be completed.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. Oh, it's so beautiful out today. It was yesterday too.
I know. John and I have been watching the weather, and it's been just so delightful here.
All right, so Janet, I'll have you introduce yourself.
Oh, Janet Schwanhausser, Deputy Superintendent and CFO for Bentonville Schools.
Fantastic, fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what we're riding on right now.
This is a trail that runs from some neighborhoods on the north side of Bentonville all the way to Sugar Creek and Thomas Jefferson. It passes by Lincoln Junior High, and then of course Tenney Russell Primary School, and Thomas Jefferson Elementary and Sugar Creek Elementary.
Fantastic. And one of the great things that I love about these types of shared use paths is that it gives parents that sense of confidence that there's truly a safe and inviting bit of infrastructure to deliver the kiddos directly to school.
Yes, the pathway is safe, and there are a couple of road crossings, and we're fortunate because of a grant to be able to offer crossing guards at both morning and afternoon times to and from the school. So it's a completely protected route for families.
Yeah. What has been the impact of having this type of infrastructure, connecting kids to these schools?
The impact is that we have much more kids riding their bikes or scooting or walking or running, and occasionally a roller skater or two. And so I think families oftentimes will forego transportation to school if there's just a single spot that's scary or unsafe. And so these added trails and the protection of the crossing guards together make the entire path safe, and more people are riding to school.
Yeah. And I'm noticing that we've got members of the community walking their dogs and enjoying this beautiful, beautiful morning as well. So this truly is an asset for the entire community.
Absolutely, and it's used all day. So we can see this trail from our office and can assure you that it is in use all day long.
Yeah, yeah. And we've got some kiddos off to the right there, enjoying some of the trails and facilities. What have you noticed in terms of just like the transformation over the years in terms of just the number of people riding?
I think the people in our school district have just generally become more fit, more willing and wanting to be outside, and then that transfers into the classroom. We see kids who come to us ready to learn. The mental health and social benefits of being outside and riding is clear. And so I think we're generally a healthier community.
Which I think also, plays out too in terms of the impact in the actual classroom too for kids.
Absolutely. When our kids are well regulated and ready to learn, then they perform better in the classroom.
And what we're seeing right now, and the reason why we headed in this direction, is we wanted to emphasize the fact that the connectivity to the residences is crucial.
Absolutely, and it's very helpful for school and for our community, I think generally, that riding the bike doesn't have to be just something fun that we do on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It is something we do day to day to get to where we need to go, making physical activity just part of our daily life.
Yeah. And we can see some houses across the street here, and they're able to access this shared use path. We've got a community garden, I guess, over here. Is that a community garden, or is that just a working farm?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know whose garden that is.
It's cool, though. It's good to see. Yeah, a little agriculture right here.
Yeah, I think it's part of that whole community
that
we passed.
Yeah. And up ahead here, we'll see a trail entrance so that folks from the community can access this trail. And that's where we'll turn around and we'll head back towards the school campuses and your administrative offices so we can get a sense as to the route that the kiddos take in the morning. And we can see this is the trail crossing. We can see that there's the looks like a rapid flashing beacon there, letting motorists know that, hey, you can expect somebody crossing on the trail. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll turn around here and head back. I love this here too. Look at that. We've got the little trail finding, and this is one of the cool little secret trails that exist all throughout the town.
Janet, how has having a coalition like the Bentonville Moves Coalition helped you and the school district achieve some of your goals around choices for parents and students?
I think one of the best things that has come out of the coalition has been the variety of ideas. The people come together and we collaborate about what we can do to make Bike to School Week better, what we can do to make crossing guards better, all the different things that we can do to impact students who are actively transporting to school. And just the variety of ideas that come from the coalition has been the greatest benefit.
And how did Bike to School Week go? That was a few weeks back.
Oh yes, it was actually last week.
Last week?
It was our biggest Bike to School Week yet. Good morning.
Morning. How many students participated?
Well, I know on any given day we were close to 600.
Wow.
We count parked bikes at schools 3 days out of the week to get a good idea of participation. And that doesn't include, a big phenomenon we've seen lately is we'll have families on transporters.
Yep.
And so, of course, those families, the mom or dad will ride in with the kids and drop them off. And so they're not included in that count. And that seems to be growing.
Historically, when you look at the past, how much has that transformed? And when did you really see that transformation starting to happen?
Well, it had already started when we started Bike to School Week. So we had about 200 riders our first Bike to School Week, and we're at about triple that now. So, and that's taken us about 3 years.
Okay.
And it's both advertising and getting the word out, and then the increase in the safe routes that has allowed it to grow.
I noticed that we have a lot of like little extras here, like we're rolling past a bike wash station here. We've seen several little trails that exist. I get the sense that it's this happy marriage between bikes as fun and recreation, and then increasingly now bikes for utilitarian purposes.
Yes, it's both. And I think it started out as recreation, and the idea that biking is just part of our day-to-day lives has grown.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I love about this too is you just, once you have that sort of sense of identity as a community that, hey, we ride bikes here, we get around this way, it helps. There's a positive momentum, a flywheel of momentum that then can spread over into, like you said, into the number of kiddos getting to school, and then, as you mentioned, also the impacts in the classroom.
Yes, there's certainly momentum, especially with Bike to School Week. We take the stance that if we can get someone riding their bike with a group, and so they feel safe, just 1 or 2 days during Bike to School Week, maybe they'll love it and continue to ride.
Yeah. And this is just so enjoyable and pleasant.
Yeah, I want to be able to take this path every day.
Yeah.
It's so lovely.
One of the other, interesting factors too, Janet, that we know of with so many children around the nation is this concept of nature deficit disorder and not having connection to nature. And that's one of the great things about a multi-use path such as this that is rolling through green spaces, is they're also getting, that vitamin in, getting some nature in too.
Yes. I think if you read the literature about different ways to address some challenges that some of our kids face, like attention deficit disorder, a lot of interventions focus on being outside, whether it's the sunshine or the green. And so if you're transporting yourself to school, and that just is a regular way to start your day, it is a benefit not just to our kids with ADHD, but all of our kids. Their social, their emotional wellness are better.
And I noticed that we're rolling past a little natural surface trail here with little whoop-de-doos, and so this is very intentional. This is meant to add a little bit of fun. That's Tristan's trail right there. So that's how cool is that?
Yeah. A lot of kids will divert onto Tristan's trail on their way to and from school.
Yeah, that is so much fun.
Good morning.
So we're rolling past your offices where you're located. What has it been like, from a school administration perspective? Talk a little bit about that evolution, the transformation of this approach of saying, oh yeah, we want to and we need to be embracing this concept of active mobility from an education perspective.
So, a decade ago, I would say that there was almost no consideration given. It all started with a grant that provided bikes to our PE classes. And now, thank you. Now we offer Learn How to Ride in every first grade in every school. So that was the beginning. And since then, it has just grown. As a school district, we recognize that students who are active are ready to learn and more successful in school. And so anything we can do to improve our student success in school, obviously we want to do it.
Right, yeah. It's fantastic.
Janet, I'm curious, from whether it's within the administration, within the school district, or parents, have there been challenges in launching Bike to School Week? And if so, how has, whether it's your leadership or other parents, kind of overcome any challenges around kind of talking about more choices to get students to and from school?
Sure. So I think our greatest challenge is that the network, while it has grown incredibly over the last several years, still many of our students do not have a safe route to school. And so we're taking a layered approach, whether it is going to talk to the city signage committee, or whether it is hoping to write grants sometimes to have sidewalks added or trails added. And I know the Bentonville Moves Coalition, separate from the district, does the same. So we just take a layered approach and we look at each challenge that we face and what we can do to make an impact.
That's great.
It sounds like embedded in what you just said there is maybe some tips and pointers for other school districts around the country.
Yes, so I think for us, we have to recognize that this isn't something that the school district does alone, or the coalition does alone, or the city. All of us work together, including state grants and even federal grants. So you can't take a one-lane approach to solving issues or challenges related to active transportation.
It sounds like there's a fair amount of willingness to be creative of how you cobble these things together, because as you mentioned, in some areas, in some schools, they may not have the resources that others do.
Yes, and I think being innovative and creative, I think that's part of living in Bentonville. And it's a necessary piece.
Where do you think that innovation and creativity comes from?
All of the stakeholders.
Yeah.
Who want safe, active transportation. Good morning.
Morning.
So Janet, what sort of feedback have you received from the parents, the teachers, the students?
I think the feedback is in the data. When we count our bikes that are at school and see how many kids are riding, that's the feedback.
Yeah.
It's working. And what I hear from parents, we have a lot of parents on our Bentonville Moves Committee. And what I hear from parents is they want their kids to be active, but they want their kids to be safe. Right. It's a dual situation. And so they're grateful for the partnerships that all of us have together to make the routes to school safe for the kids.
Yeah. And we're rolling up to
Sugar Creek
Elementary School. We see lots and lots of bikes there. And so clearly that's the goal, is to see
we can.
more kiddos riding, on a regular basis, on an everyday basis, not just on quote unquote bike to school day.
Yes.
And what is the sort of sense of independence? Like, I hear the sort of the activity around emotional and being ready to learn, but is there also just a sense of independence that the kids are receiving by having options to bike or walk to school?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried to measure that, but yes.
I don't know how you would
gather
measure
feedback about that, but yes.
I don't know how you would measure it either, but Janet, what's your advice to other school districts who, are beginning to build a connected network like Bentonville, but also have gaps to begin considering how to do, whether it's bike to school weeks or bike trains? What are like the top 3 things you would recommend school districts think about or try?
I think just begin. That's the most important part, I think. If all you do is say, if you are safe to ride to school next week, ride your bike. That's a beginning.
Yeah.
So just begin, and as you begin, and people begin to see bike riders, that will increase the ridership. Bike trains are a great way to introduce those who are less comfortable to bike riding. You can see our flags. Do you see them at the intersection?
I love it.
Yes, and they're still there. I wondered if they would walk away. So we can stop here if you want and look at. It's neat. It has instructions on the little bucket that tell people what to do.
I love that. So we grab a SEMI flag. I'm gonna test it.
See if you get safely across.
So obviously staged as she's striding across.
She did a nice job.
It seems like this is a particularly busy intersection.
Yes, it is. That's why we selected this intersection to place these flags.
Yeah.
Visibility is very important, obviously, when you're on foot or on a bike and you're crossing the road. And especially the road, the way this road faces, when the sun comes up in the morning, you can't always, things aren't especially visible. So we thought these flags might be a great addition at this intersection.
And was this a grant from the Bentonville Moves Coalition?
It is, yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
I love it.
And it was easy.
Whose idea was it?
It was Jessica Pearson's idea. Yes, she said, hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, I know exactly where we could put that.
That's amazing.
Yes.
How long has it been up?
One day.
One day.
Yes,
One day.
Grand opening.
Yes, this is the grand opening.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
here we go.
My shadow and I, this was one of our projects.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to see sort of how it continues to work.
Yes.
And another just great benefit and strategy of the Bentonville Moves Coalition is to have these mini grants to resource activities like this, not have partners like you have to figure out how to find the resources to do something like this.
And the coalition also supports us in Bike to School Week. They gave us a grant for the prizes that we hand out to our kids on bikes, and they love their silicone bracelets and their little bicycle fidgets that we hand out. So,
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
Just increases the energy of the week.
Some people are using it.
Oh, yay!
There we go.
Yay! Oh,
We have our demonstrators.
We love
Yay!
it.
Thank you.
that's great! Yay!
It works. I love it.
This is
Before
fun.
we roll, and
Yeah.
since we're going to roll in that direction, the way those two are strolling, it does. The thing that jumps out at me is how wide that part is. We see that has been an improved multi-use path in that area, and we have our signage there too. And so we see there could be a potential opportunity, with that widening of the path right to the doorstep for the children as well. So
Yes.
it's something for the future, maybe future mini grants or something of that nature, is being able to, make that final little bit of connection there. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yay! All right. And since the sidewalk is a little chunky over there, has some breaks in it, it's a great excuse to say, well, we have to repair it anyway, so let's make it wider.
I love the wide sidewalks.
Yeah. Yeah, when you can make a side path like this, a multi-use path, it really, your return on investment is so much greater. You're able to, meet multiple modes, all ages and abilities, and and even for people strolling and being able to carry on a conversation side by side, and like we are riding side by side, that's an extraordinary thing. And for parents, they want to have their kiddos right next to them on the bike.
Yes, well, and next to other community members, the social
Yes.
aspect is so important of riding and commuting, active commuting as well.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting in the back seat on your phone, you can talk to the people you're riding with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Janet, thank you so much. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure riding with you and learning more about the Bentonville School District approach to active mobility. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye today?
For sure. Thank you, first of all, for going on a ride with me. That was so much fun. And if you are watching and you're thinking about what you can do in your community, I think the most important thing is to just start. Get kids out on bikes, invite kids to ride bikes to schools, and take any step forward, and you will begin to build momentum.
I suspect that having fun things on your handlebars helps too.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great conversation starter.
Again, thank you so much, Janet.
Thank you.
And again, just want to send a huge thank you to all my Active Towns ambassadors supporting the channel financially via YouTube memberships, YouTube Super Thanks, as well as making contributions to the nonprofit and joining my Patreon. Every little bit adds up and is very much appreciated. Thank you all so much.